yesterday we had a situation that gave me a bit of a wake-up call. So, in our suburb, there was a large bushfire. Now, we're in suburbia, but there are areas where there's some flora and fauna reserves and that sort of thing, parkland, what have you. Yesterday, quite a bit went up in flames. It was a couple of kilometres from us, but we have a very good vantage point here to view pretty much our entire suburb, depending on what window we're looking through, and it was a bit scary. Now, it was headed in the opposite direction to us, but we got word from a family member who's a volunteer firefighter that the wind was going to be changing, and that's a very dangerous situation when it comes to fires. Anything could happen, basically. Embers were flying about a kilometre ahead of the fire and starting spot fires, so if the wind changed and it happened the opposite direction, it was very unlikely that it was going to come anywhere near us. But we decided to bug out. So we went to my folks' house. It was an incredibly hot afternoon. So just that in itself, trying to gather things for 10 people, just basic things, gather water, gather people's shoes, and some snacks to take to my mum's house. As well as making sure we had, a bottle for the baby and nappies and wipes. Okay, so just the basics. It was just, even though we weren't in any immediate danger whatsoever, just making that decision to leave, because we had family and friends calling us and texting us, and they were worried, and we thought, well, if not for anything else, it's good to leave just to give them peace of mind, And we had nothing we had nothing to lose. I mean, we were going to visit my folks, they're 20 minutes down the road, so no big deal. And so anyway, but just once you made that decision to leave, especially in the hot weather, it becomes stressful. And we took about half an hour, maybe only 20 minutes, but maybe half an hour to just gather things and get out the door. I decided last night, we were way too unprepared yesterday, so I have made bug out packs for each person in our family. Now, they include water. I don't really like the idea in the extreme heat that we get of keeping water in a hot car, but so I'm thinking we're going to keep the bug out packs just in a couple of crates, somewhere close to the front door, and it's a matter of we make the decision to go, we grab and we go. Where we live, we're in suburbia, but the street that we're in actually, there's only one way out. We sort of have to curve around and do, some little side streets and stuff to get out onto a main road, and there's no other way out. So we don't want to be making any last minute decisions. We want to be making the decision to go nice and early, because we've got 8, almost 9 children to think about, and it really doesn't matter if you leave, does it? And nothing happens. That's fine. That's great. So I've made bug out packs for everybody, and I'm going to show you what I've done, and I'm quite proud. And look, if you've got any suggestions, please let me know what else I should be packing. A couple of things to keep in mind. These bug out packs are really just to sustain us for sort of 12 hours, or if we just have to leave our house for a while, or to get us from A to B. So to get us, if we go and stay in a caravan park overnight, or go to my folks' house for the night, enough to get us by, that we're not immediately having to rush about and get things like toothpaste and stuff. We've got those things that allow us to still feel human if we're at someone else's house or a caravan park or whatever, and all we really have to think about is getting some dinner. But I've included some cash in this just to allow us to be able to get just some dinner or petrol if we need to. If it's one of those weeks where it's at the end, you know, we're waiting to be paid and we feel flat broke and we weren't expecting to have to go and stay somewhere and get takeaway, we've got that money. So I'm going to show you what I've done, and I'm really looking forward to your suggestions. Okay guys, I have a messy bedroom around me because I've been doing this all afternoon. Now I just went to Kmart and Woolworths this afternoon to gather any supplies that I needed to complete these packs, and all up what I spent, so the things that I didn't already have around the house, I've spent just under $150 for peace of mind, and that makes me happy. Right, so I'll go through everybody's packs in a second. I'll just show you some extra things that I've got. So this is 10 litres of water, and it's in like a goon bag for those in Australia. It's in like cask wine. So it's quite good to keep in the car. It's not in plastic, which is a nice thought. And yeah, it's just an extra 10 litres of water. We've got a family of 10, so that's an extra litre each. And on a hot day, even though this is just, everyone's got a couple of water bottles in their pack, this is just a litre extra, just to get us through. Say, we've probably got enough water on a really hot day that we're fine for half a day, or a number of hours before we can fill up our bottles or whatever, and that's what I want. Okay. And then I've put in some nappy supplies separately. We currently have 2 babies or toddlers in nappies. We're about to get one out of nappies and toilet train her this holidays, but we haven't yet. I've just included 8 nappies because, as I said, we just want enough to get us through, you know, one afternoon and night. And this is not a doomsday sort of thing. We assume we can still get to the shops. This is just a get from A to B bug out situation. So I've included a few nappy sacks there, some antiseptic hand gel, which I'd rather wash my hands, but if you're on the side of a road somewhere, and some bepanthen cream. This is the antiseptic one, so it also doubles as an antiseptic cream for, you know, burns, stings, all that sort of business. That's good. And a packet of baby wipes. I just put 4 rolls of toilet paper into a snap-lock bag because I figured it's light. It can't hurt to just have it as part of any sort of bug out pack. Alright, you know, like if you end up going to stay in a caravan park and they've only got one roll and you've got 10 people. Okay, so now I think I might, yeah, I'll show you what I've got in. I'll start from the littlest person and work my way up. Okay, so in each person's little pack, we all have some basic supplies. So we've all got a change of clothes. Now at the moment it's summer, so what I figure we'll do is every 6 months I'm going to go through our packs, change the clothes, and to, you know, weather appropriate clothes, and also take the food out. We'll eat the food and I'll replace the food with fresh food. Same with water, we'll just replace it all. So and then basic things like toothbrushes and that sort of thing can just stay in there for a longer time. So Isaac's pack, I've put a colouring book in because with all the children I've put something that they can do. You know, when we went to my parents' house yesterday, the kids all grabbed a book or whatever to take. So, you know, they at least have something like that to do without having to run around the house finding something. So Isaac's pack differs from everybody else's a little bit because he's so young. He's only 1. I have packed for him just the regular water bottles, but I've also packed for him
sippy cup. I've just put a bib in there just for space saving, just because it's a lot easier for him to have a drink if it's in a sippy cup, and they're just really cheap ones from IKEA. I have a bunch of them, so there you go. And then he has a little pack, so he has his colouring book here, and then he has some crayons in here, also some bubbles, and that's pretty much it. That's just a little body wash, baby body wash, and some extra nappy sacks. So he has a little change of clothes. Now with the change of clothes, I just got everybody to run around this afternoon and just find me, you know, I said get an old pair of shorts, an old t-shirt and an old pair of undies, because I just wanted them to have something that they can wear as a spare set of clothes, or equally wear as a set of pajamas if we just happen to be, you know, having to stay over somewhere for the one night. I want it to be comfortable enough that it's pajamas. I got everyone to get something summery, so you know, the main reason I'm doing this is for, you know, the potential for summer fires. So you know, so I'm not too concerned about people having warm clothes so much as just something something extra. And then each person, see, what I noticed yesterday was that it took time just to find shoes for everyone. And as I said, Josephine, we didn't end up finding her thongs. We went to my folks, she didn't have her thongs, no big deal whatsoever. But it just made me think, you know, if we actually had to leave really quite fast, it would be great to know we don't even have to make sure that we're shod. We can just grab our 2 tubs of our packs and we know we've got a pair of thongs each, or flip-flops, whatever you want to call them. But I went to Kmart and got everyone a cheap pair of thongs. They were $1.50 each, so for me, and I just made sure they were, you know, on the sort of large side for people whose feet are still growing, but not so large that they're not going to fit. So Isaac's got a little pair of thongs there, and then his little snack. I packed every single person 2 600ml waters, so it's 1.2 litres, and then obviously another litre, so that's 2.2 litres. And in hot weather, that is for 10 people, some of which are children and some are adults and everything. That is enough water for 24 hours for all of us quite easily. And as I said, this is not sort of like a real zombie apocalypse situation, so it's not like I think we're not going to have access to water. So his little pack, I've put some banana biscotti and a banana blueberry and quinoa little pouch food thing, and then a chocolate bar. You know, he's a toddler, he's eating everything. We're eating to an extent. He only has his front teeth so far, so I didn't want to be giving him anything with nuts or too hard to chew. So I did get him some sort of baby sort of snacks that he can handle. That's Kit Kat. He can handle a Kit Kat. So that's got wafer and chocolate, so that's all good. I'll put these packs back together after. So then Josephine's pack and Layla's pack are the same. So Josephine's about to turn 3, Layla's about to turn 5. And so in their pack, so I don't know if I showed, each person has a toothbrush in their individual pack, but I have packed toothpaste separately. But it's just nice, you know, to have a personal toothbrush in your own pack, I thought. So a pair of thongs, and under that is a spare change of clothes that are nice, and it's just shorts, a t-shirt and undies. Nice and comfy to either sleep in or wear as a spare change of clothes. Some bubbles, a little colouring book and pencils. And then she's got her food pack, and everybody's food pack, all of the children's food packs apart from Isaac's are this. So they've got a chocolate bar. The big kids have a different type of chocolate bar, but the little kids have a Kit Kat, they have an oat slice, and they have a nut bar. So that's just some sugary snacks just to keep people's spirits high. If, you know, we're doing something unusual just to keep the kids happy and entertained and feeling like we're on a bit of an adventure more than anything. And then a lot of the kids have toothbrushes that came in a multi-pack, so I've just put them in with the food, quite appropriate given all the sugar. Yeah, and water. So both the girls have the same things in their pack. And then James and Samuel have the same things in their pack, so I'll just show you one. So again, there's a spare change of clothes, 2 bottles of water, the snack pack with a toothbrush, and then a little activity pack. So that's just a notebook with lines in it, because Samuel and James are 7 and 9 years old, so they like to write as well as draw. And then a multicoloured pen. These are just cheap things from Kmart. Again, some bubbles, you know, fun. And then James doesn't have any tissues in his, but everyone from Samuel up has just a little packet of tissues, just because I got a 6-pack, so that's how I worked it out. And then Isabel, her pack differs a little bit. So for the bigger kids, they have a bigger sort of toothbrush, so they came individually packed, and they have a different type of chocolate bar rather than the Kit Kat. That's just because I had someone gave me a bunch of chocolate bars to give to the kids for Christmas, and normally I don't give them chocolate bars, so this was a good way to use them. Now, everyone from Isabel up has just one of these little exercise books, 48 pages with lines, and then she has this little pack that has tissues, some bubbles. Belle's the last person to get bubbles. My 2 eldest don't get bubbles, boo-hoo. A couple of pens for her to do some writing, and I think that's it. She's got obviously everything else that everyone has. So spare change of clothes. I had to spend a whole $3 on her thongs because I don't have any $1.50 left in her size. And it matters not, because obviously the thing is with these shoes, for instance, guys, they've got lots of siblings. Even if Isaac doesn't end up wearing these, because he has another pair of thongs that he's wearing this summer, they'll go to his baby brother. You know, so they're gonna, everyone's but Josephine's can definitely be used at some point. So at the most, I've lost $1.50 if no one ever wears Josephine's shoes. So for the peace of mind, so worth it. And then Ava and Jack have the same pack as Belle. They don't have bubbles, as I said, so they've got an extra pen. I had a multi-pack of pens, so they get a red pen each as well. I don't think there's anything else in their pack that's really exciting. It's just the same. And then my pack looks a little bit more bulky, because with my change of clothes I've got a spare bra in there, because you know, you want to be comfortable. And okay, so yeah, the adult packs differ ever so slightly. I'll just show you Anthony's closer. And I still, even with adult size clothing, and shoes, I've still fit a spare change of clothes. So there's shorts there and a t-shirt and undies, and then you know, much larger thongs. So the adult snack bag differs a little bit. We've got the nut bar and the oat slice as well, but some more sort of just chocolatey bar type stuff. And I've just chucked an extra nut bar in ours because we had that, so that can just be spare for whoever needs more. Now, Anthony's got an asthma puffer in here because he gets asthma, but so his differs in that sense. I thought rather than putting that separately, you know, he's an adult and anyone should just have their own puffer with them for safety to make sure that it's on them. And he would probably leave the house with one anyway. That's there just in case he doesn't, to make sure, especially if you're leaving because there's a fire in the area. You know, there's a lot of smoke. Asthmatics have to be so careful that they've got their medication. I've got some spare batteries in here for this. This also has batteries in it at the moment. I'm going to take the batteries out because, you know, you're not supposed to store things with batteries in them. But I've left them in just to show you what works. This got it for $2 from Kmart. Got one for Anthony, one for myself. And I might get some for the kids because I'd never tried them before. So now I've put batteries in and tried it. I'm quite happy with it. That's very bright, so you can hang it like a lantern. Okay, and then if you turn it off and on again, it does the torch instead. So that's excellent. And even at $2, it even came with batteries. And I've just put some spares in there because I don't know how good those batteries are for that price, torch and all. So me and Anthony each have one of those torch lantern things. And we have a good pen, my favourite Papermate pens. We have one of those each, but then just the 48-page exercise book. Always good to have a pen and paper. Now, I think I have showed everything except this one last pack here. This is, and I've labelled them all with people's names, so there's no confusion. Everyone knows their pack is theirs. Okay, so this is Toiletry's Entertainment and Cash. It's just a separate one because it's sort of like a share pack. Just basics that everyone may need if we have an overnight stay somewhere. I have got quite a few things in here, but I'll go through it. So I've got this little pack that I've put a couple of deodorants in and you know, a razor and some body lotion, just because, you know, if you go on for 24 hours you want to sort of have a shower and feel good. Now this is sort of more medical stuff. Now this is not a first aid kit, okay, so I try and have a first aid kit in the car all the time, and at least I usually have like 2 first aid kits in the house. But these are just some real basic items that I know we've got, you know, if we go anywhere and, you know, we're not hurt or anything. We just want to make sure we've got our basic things on top of any first aid kit that I have elsewhere. Again, you know, to take into a caravan or into my folks' house, just so we've got our own basic supplies. So I've got some Rennie there because I'm pregnant and, you know, sometimes I get heartburn. Paracetamol, ibuprofen, a few band-aids and some hair ties. Because it's so annoying when you're out and about and you need a hair tie and you don't have one. A brush for us all to share. Now this is just a little, there's an extra notebook in there, a couple of extra pens and a pack of playing cards. Just to spend some time doing something. This is actually shampoo. This is not the charcoal, what is it? Charcoal cleanser. It's not. I actually have half filled it with shampoo from my shower because it was an empty bottle. And I just thought, because I wasn't going to bother with things like shampoo, but then I thought, look, if we're staying over somewhere, I might really want to wash my hair. I don't feel human. I find it hard to sleep. I haven't had a shower in the evening after a long day. So it's just basic stuff, doesn't take up much room, but it makes you feel human. Just one roll-on 50 plus sunscreen. Again, it's just to get us through a few hours. Obviously, we've got 10 people. We could go through this probably in a couple of days, or even a day if we needed to apply it more than once on all of us, but that will at least get us through till we buy more. And then just a little bag with some cash in it, as I said, maybe some petrol, maybe some fish and chips for dinner or whatever, just so I know we've got it there handy. And then toothpaste. Now I know I could have only, even though they're all supposed to have different types of toothpaste for this sort of situation, I really don't have to worry about having all the different types. I thought, you know what, it doesn't take up that much room and it's pleasant because they're brushing their teeth with what they're used to, which I thought is, you know, there's no harm in that. That's just an old face washer, because I really like a face washer when I have a shower, and I just like to have it, you know, it could come in handy for anything. A bar of soap, some antibacterial wipes for sensitive skin, suitable for hands and face. It's just good, like wipes of any sort are really handy, you know, if you're out on the road. And then this is a different type of packet of wipes, cleansing facial wipes. So they're good for getting makeup off, and they've also got some witch hazel, and so just to make you feel fresh, give your face a bit of a freshen up. So, you know, with that pack, definitely going to feel like a human being after washing up, putting on a set of comfy clothes that you can use as pajamas, and just getting through that evening or whatever that we might have to be away until we, you know, figure out what we're doing the next day or go home the next day or whatever. This is just peace of mind for me. When I'm responsible for not just children but 8 of them, almost 9 of them, these sort of situations can feel more overwhelming than, you know, if you don't have so many children to haul around. So for me, this is it just makes practical sense, because obviously if we need to get out of our home, it's otherwise going to take us longer than it would for other people to get out of their home as well. So I feel it's particularly important for us to be extra prepared. For $150, peace of mind, we've got this. And you know what? As I said to the kids, if you go on school camp, you can take your thongs with you, or, you know, if these things we can use anyway, and then just restock them. And my plan is, as I said, every 6 months I'll just rotate. I'll get all the food bits out, we'll eat those, and, you know, they'll become school lunchbox things or weekend snacks, and then I'll replace them with fresh things that have another 6 months at least on their use by date, till the use by date. And also every 6 months I will also swap the clothes, because summer is very hot here, winter is very cold here, as far as I'm concerned. So in for the colder months, we're not going to want thongs. Look, we could deal with it, because I'm not going to go and spend heaps of money on shoes that are warmer that we may not ever use. But I just went to grab this because I'll just show you that I'm already starting to prepare for the cooler months. When I was at Kmart today, there were these sort of, I call them sand shoes. Oh. And they're twirling on each other. $2 each. Okay, so I got a pair. They seem quite big for Isaac now, but in 6 months' time they'll probably fit him. Same for Layla, and then Josephine. So I got one size up for the kids. Samuel, James, and Isabel. So I still need to get some for myself, for Anthony, for Jack and Ava. I didn't find any on super sale. These were all reduced from $8 to $2. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of shoes, I spent $12, guys. And so for our winter bug out packs, they're going to be a lot more comfortable in cold weather with a thin pair of socks to fit in as well. Obviously, I might not fit more wintry clothes because I'm thinking everyone's going to need sort of a pair of tracksuit pants and a long sleeve top and a pair of socks as well as the thickest shoes. So everyone might have to have another smaller pack to go with this, and we might have a third crate. And you know what, if everything's in a crate and near the door, not like literally next to the door so that we look like crazy people, but in a cupboard in the room right near the front door, everything's still very easy to grab and take, and some of the things I can just keep in the car. I don't know. Some people might think this is insane. I think it's genius. I think people who do this sort of thing are very planful. I think it's appropriate. And given yesterday, it was a little bit of a wake-up call. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. Nothing's going to go to waste. It's toiletries, it's food. We're going to go through them and replace them. And I've got everything at a really good price. So please let me know what you think, and more importantly, let me know if you think I have forgotten anything really important. Again, it's just for sort of 12 to 24 hours, and I know I haven't included some healthy snacks or more food, but this is not, thinking we have to run into the woods and pitch a tent, and I think this is, we're going to be staying elsewhere in suburbia and purchasing a meal for dinner sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sure I've blabbered on plenty. We're going to get more into this sort of thing. So as soon as I mentioned I was doing this to Anthony, he's going, oh yeah, and you should get a survival guide and blah blah blah, and I said, yep, so you will get into that stuff next, because we probably don't need to know, we probably don't need a Swiss Army knife for just going from A to B if there's fire in our suburb. But, we sure do need to think about that sort of thing for the reason that we enjoy going bushwalking, for instance. So we do need to start becoming more planful, given the lifestyle that we have. We enjoy nature walks big time, we love it, so the next thing will be to become more planful with that sort of thing. I don't envision any massive devastation where we are as far as prepping goes, or prepping. I certainly believe in having an extended pantry in case of financial stress. And this sort of thing I think is incredibly appropriate, planning for things that may occur in your own backyard, in your own environment. So this is where I'm at right now. But anyway, so I will add that these are all big snap-lock bags. Obviously, if there's time, they've all got their own backpacks, and they grab those and then they can just chuck these in. And they can also grab a book or a soft toy, whatever they want. But so even if we had time to prepare a bit, at least we've already thought of all of this and already got all of this packed. I'm not envisioning anything dramatically, get out, get out, get out. But if there is, we don't have to worry about getting anything else, because this is all the really important stuff. So with that, thank you for watching. Take care. See you later.